Welcome back to In the Street Trades. Took a bit of a hiatus there, a few weeks off, nearly a month. Truthfully, I really didn't want to stream during the whole potential squeeze situation with AMC, but just listening around the community online right now, there's just so much negativity, and obviously, if you look at the chart, I could see why a day like today would garner that. But I guess I wanted to hop on here and just give my perspective on things and watch this together in real time. What's happening? I mean, it's been pretty nasty. It's down nearly 20% today. However, one of the things I try to remind a couple of my friends today is you look at history. Volkswagen back in 2008, GameStop January this year. Typically, right before a big pop, this is a very, very, very common thing. A massive retracement. And that's because they're so overextended that they have to position themselves in the best light possible to get an entry point where it doesn't completely destroy them. I mean, we saw this thing swing within the matter of today from this morning, where it was up 3% all the way down to now where it's down 20. I mean, it bounced off underneath the $40 mark and make it a bit of a run right now. So it's not out of the realm of possibility where this is what we could be seeing. I completely expected a retracement, to tell you the truth. Yep. Let's see what we got going on. Yeah, you look at the active orders going on right now. It's pretty lively. It bounced. It dipped below that $40 mark and did not like that. So it bounced right back up. It's still down about 16% on the day. Going into today, I actually made a phone call yesterday to a buddy of mine, Vince, who's been on the channel a few times in a few videos that we've had. And I told him, I'm like, be very, very aware that tomorrow we are probably going to see a nasty drop. And he's like, really? I'm like, oh yeah, dude, it will get ugly. Because yesterday you had, Ortex tweet out their revision to the information and data that they were getting and receiving about short interest numbers, basically stating that what they had come back or returned, which was factored in and marked as short sale items, really wasn't. It was just loaned out shares. So not really affecting the short interest percentage. So adjustment being made there. The second thing is you look at the option market right now, and it is overwhelmingly right around this mark, this $42 mark. There is so many open options that were in the money up until this morning. So you see this pop, get people excited, get people to buy in, and then just try to drain out psychologically where they're at. And truthfully, the stock is volatile. Let's be honest, that goes without saying. But I guess what we're going to be seeing here is like my guess. Again, just a guess. not financial advice or any of that stuff, is we're going to see them try to keep it around this level through tomorrow at least, because with all these options expiring, it is in a lot of people's financial interest to be in this zone. However, I also feel like a retracement like this is it will test the health of the stock and the community at large. So, looking at the order flow here, it's starting to pick up a little bit. People really, really, really enjoyed that discount purchase there. So, hopefully you were one of them that got in. All right. Let's see if there's any new information that has been put out on Twitter. Let's see what we got going on. RSI is currently at about 46. Yeah, earlier in the day when the initial big drop happened, you looked over the course of a few minute period, there was about 6-7 million shares just dumped. Now, you don't necessarily know without having market maker information if this was a big interest that decided to get out at that point, or if it was indeed more shorts. Now, as far as the data out there goes, we try to look at all the information available. So you look at your Ortax, you look at your Fintails, even the ones that only have like individual share lending information, like your iBorrow desk and so forth. It showed a massive increase the past week or so of return shares. However, you saw a good amount go back out, and it's not out of the realm of possibility that that's what happened, was a deliberate move there. But it also could have been someone saying, all right, we're good with our position. However, I just think I don't know. Looking back from yesterday onto to today, having these conversations, especially people in my circle, it was pretty clear something like this was going to happen. I knew it was going to pop at open. I have a few options myself. Was considering getting out because, again, I had made mention that this may happen, but like the strength was looking pretty good. It was looking pretty good, and then bam, probably should have done it and then re-entered, but hindsight's 20/20. So let me go back to what I was doing. Let's see. All right, anything good? I'll tell you what, the news world out there right now has just been on fire with just propagating all sorts of FUD. It has been awful. Yeah, you also saw at that same time though, and I want to be transparent, clear across the board that the S&P as a whole made a little bit of a move, and particularly the Russell 2000. So 4150 is right about where we're at right now. Again, I anticipate this being where we're going to be at for a little bit of time. We're in the lunch lull. And typically going out of this right around 105 is when you'll see what direction the stock may take for the next couple of hours. Already making a move, fighting for 42. I think you're going to see some interest coming in of this buying opportunity. Let's not forget that this stock has consolidated for multiple days around the $50 magnet mark. And the fact that it was consistently holding at that level, there's going to be buyers out there in positions that see this as a tremendous opportunity. Now, we all hear it, and we all heard people say it. It's like, when in doubt, zoom out. So, we look at, this is just our daily, right? So, we pop this bad boy back out, and certainly we had the giant run up here, and it looks to be, well, it doesn't look to be, it is on a downtrend. However, as we sit right now, on a 1 month basis, this stock is still up 342%. I mean, a month ago, we were trading in the $9 range, fighting for $10. So now that the pressure is being applied, it's all sorts of dirty tricks and what have you is going to be out there, and that I believe is what you're seeing. So you're going to see retracements and bounce backs. I mean, if you look on the short here, you had your pretty good double bottom, or as we call it in the ape community, a George Dub. So yeah, it was about time to get back on here. Like I said, it took a step away. I really, really, really didn't want to garner any viewership or pop success based off of this individual. I was trying to build my community through deep dive stock analysis, and just today being out in some of the other YouTubers channels and hearing what people are talking about, and how the mentality and the attitude is very, very dark and negative, I just felt the need to come on and just talk about it. It's funny, I was again talking to another one of my friends, and he had got in a little bit later, and it's funny, you almost feel an obligation sometimes to send those reassurances, what they're seeing. We're talking about new apes, a lot of people at this point. They're not used to seeing stuff like this. I mean, I've been staring at these charts for 6 months now, so I see a day like today, yeah, it's deflating, it really is, but at the same time, not unexpected, and truthfully, it charges me up more. It makes me want to fight more, it makes me want to hodl more, and everything in me wants the community out there to just simply embrace and come together, stronger, because you will see the moves back. I undoubtedly, my conviction in this, there's probably 2 or 3 stocks and securities out there that I have the strongest conviction in. And studying this and watching this and being part of this ape community for the past 6 months, again, not from the influence standpoint, but more from the spectator. I've been in the rooms for full days on a trades or a Matt Kors channel. I've been one of those apes. Yeah, I'm totally watching this. This is super informative, and sometimes you just want to step aside and step outside because you have more to say, and on days like today, just it makes you appreciate the big pop green days even more. So it's something to remember. I know a lot of sentiment out in the community has always been, know your why. Remember that, remember why we're in it in the first place. A lot of people if they get super aggravated or aggressive about this, either they're shill or buy, or B, they may be overextended at the point, like stepped in a little too much because of FOMO. And that's fine. We've all done it. Like, I was watching some of the boards yesterday on Clove, and Clove had popped 2 days ago. Huge pop. Up like 90%, 100%, something like that. And I saw afterwards, at the end of that, it closed out and everybody was charged up. They're like, it's going to keep running, it's going to keep running. Well, there was no news catalyst behind it. You know, there was, it had all the familiar symptoms of a pump and dump. And when it started to come down, instead of, the ape support for these people of like, hey, look, we've all done it. You live, you learn. There's some teachable moments here. Let's look at like why this happened and what we could have looked out for. It was just more of like, I told you so. You should have never done that. Blah blah blah. Why you chasing? And you get that because people are losing money in an unfair fight where stuff is being swayed and shifted. Now, I understand some of the responses people were saying in regards to that, because they were more upset at like people who were who were apes who withdrew positions in AMC to chase that. That's different. And, everybody's on their own to make their own decisions. That's why you hear all these influencers and everybody online will tell you, this is not financial advice, not financial advisor. You make your own decisions. You're responsible for your own money and future. And the thing I challenge people on is, tell me a time, if you've been in the market long enough, tell me a time where you didn't do that at least once and you were caught holding a bag or felt like a dum-dum because you followed the herd in that sense. Now, people could make the same argument for like, well, aren't you following the herd for AMC? I've been on this since the first pop of GameStop, and initially I wanted to get into GME at the time, and I just didn't have much money, and I was looking at all the things that were trending, and AMC is the one that stood out to me because at the time it still was very undervalued because it was in a crippling situation in December. And you pull back on their 1 year and their pull back on their 5 year, you could see the company was valued at 3 to 4 times what it was trading at. So if they could survive, it was a decent rebound investment anyway. So making the commitment to get into AMC just caused me to be magnetically pulled into the deep dives, the due diligence, the community itself, and I couldn't be prouder to be in part of this. So like, if you're on the fence, if you're worried about a day like today or the past 4 days, because we've had a little red run, I challenge you to ask why you even got into it. And if it's for, a simple, quick money grab, cool. Just be honest about it, Because look, we dropped, what was it? Hold on, let me change this chart real quick, pull up something. We're going to pop out to, no, that's a little bit earlier. May 18th, that popped up there. So I want to say it was right in this time. Right now, let me see if I can't change some stuff around. I'm still new to all this stuff, guys, so bear with me. Let's see. All right. $13 test came up here. Because there was a point intraday not too long ago where it had ran from like 60 down to 37 all in the span of a day, and then right back up. And there were so many people just panic selling. It's like, but that's because we had a lot of new apes at the time who really didn't know how volatile this thing is. There's a reason where, well, beyond the protection of themselves legally, but there is a reason why when you go into some of these brokerages to place your orders, it'll pop up that message like, hey, this is an extremely volatile stock, because it is. It's exactly what it is. And you need to go in expecting that. Let me see if I got some new notifications. This is a response to a tweet I had sent on an Ortex line yesterday. So basically, I had stated once they had put out that that update of hey, the numbers are actually higher than we thought. I said, someone had asked, hey, can you put this in layman's terms? And I said, shares reported returned were just borrowed and weren't being short sold. They don't affect the short interest numbers. Millions and millions are borrowed that hedges hold on to short when quotations needed, but always use them and simply don't always use them and simply return them. But this was more I'm not saying it was masked. I don't know if it was intentional or not. I can't call that, but it gave the impression that these were ones that were directly pulled out of the market, that were actively being used. So a lot of response to that. I'm just glad to see that people are, super interested in this now. I mean, granted, it takes a lot of people, financial investment to really I guess be committed to something. Not committed, but like be engaged in something. So I think of it, don't think of the stock market like this, but think of it like sports betting. Like if you're watching a football game and it might be your team in it or not. Let's say it isn't. You're just watching. It's Sunday. You have two teams that you have really no interest in. So you'll watch it and you enjoy it because it is what it is. Now, let's say you picked up that phone and you called and you're like, "Hey, I want to lay $100 on Philadelphia or whatever." Suddenly, you care about it a lot more because you're invested in it, and there is a lot of people with a lot of money in AMC right now. And what makes it even more interesting, and for people across the board frustrating, is the game itself is not fair. So imagine putting that $100 on that Philly game or whatever, and the referees are actually like the family members or on staff of the other team, and that's what it feels like at times. Now, what makes this a little bit different is the amount of preparation and research and time spent going into this has somewhat leveled the playing field. In January, when like GameStop popped, there was a community of people who anticipated that. However, there was a large amount of people who had no idea what was going on and didn't know what to expect. Now, there was a catalyst that caused that thing to stop running, which is, these brokerages, a lot of them turned off the buy option, and it just halted momentum. And momentum's a big thing. So I think it's going to be a lot different in this case. Let's see that we're back in the $43 range. So it's making a little bit of move. I think people appreciated the discount, and we are still during the lunch lull. So who knows? This thing carrying on could it could spike. It could make a move. You know what I've found interesting though is these past a couple days especially, this sucker will move 10-15%, placing itself on an SSR and come back to right where it was. It has like that $50 magnet right around that area, whether it's post-market, pre-market, or intraday. And there's a good chance we could see it again. I likely would say I called this one yesterday to today, because since they are so overextended, there's some that need to get out of the position, and it's in the best bet to drive it down as much as possible to get it to that. Do you buy out 1 million shares at $50, or do you borrow at a cost an extra 6 million, drive it down $10, and then buy all 7 million back? So that's the thought to have with that. However, 7 million shares isn't going to change this game, because we have far more outstanding right now. So let me see if we have any other information out there going around. Well, that's the wrong button. Let's see. It's amazing how little I see on like my active news feed about certain price action when it's happening. And another thing, that it's just hysterical to me that you're seeing is the amount of articles that'll be pumped out saying, for instance, this one's on CNBC right now. It says these are the newest Reddit stocks to watch, according to Bank of America, and this is by CNBC. So how do we shift our attention away from AMC and GME? How do we pull potential investors out of that, over to something else, just to alleviate some of this pressure that is being squeezed around us right now? And that's why you saw Wendy's yesterday. That's why you saw Clove. That's why you're seeing clean energy. That's why it's insane. And I hear plenty of tinfoil thoughts and ideas about they own Citadel owns portions of Clove, and so-and-so owns portions of this. That may be the case, but if you guys look at their portfolio, they own portions of everything, And I'm not saying it's not the case, but I just think the machine is heavy at work sometimes to redirect attention, And it's just story after story. Pretty unbelievable sometimes. Let's see. God, my thing is running slow. I still enjoy watching some of the when some of the apes within the community do get news time, whether it's Trey or Matt or some of them where they're on Fox Business or doing an interview on Benzinga or what have you. It's rare that we get a platform for it, but you also see a lot of confounding stuff coming out afterwards. Some of the things even within those interviews, for instance, when you see Trey on Payne show on Fox Business, and they're still referring it to, you know, the Redditors, and it's like this has grown bigger than a simple Redditor thing. This is an ape community. In fact, I know for a fact that some won't even address it because it's gotten pretty out of hand on those sites. You know, their tinfoil hats have definitely gone on, and it's just it's almost disheartening sometimes. Like, all right, everything's that's the thing. It's almost like confirmation bias. You know, once you start falling down that hole of thinking everything is a conspiracy, that's the lens you're going to look at it in. And I think that is a little bit of what has happened in that community, and it kind of misdirects the ape objective, which is you know, we buy and hold them. And you could throw out any other piece of information, but that's the core basis of it. And I mean, certainly there has been DDs and conversations that have garnered, you know, pertinent information. But I think if you spend enough time and you fall down enough holes, you're going to find out that, you know, next thing you know, the moon landed was perpetrated by Citadel conspirators or something just crazy. I mean, like, I've heard some pretty wild stuff. Now, when you do see price action and things like that, like today, yesterday, these past few days, it's easy to put in a framework of what we've talked about for the past 6 months. This is what is being done. I mean, a FUD aside, anything in the news media side, period, we know what we know. What we know is this stock is heavily shorted. What we know is it's definitely garnering the attention of not only institutions, the ape community, banks, hedge funds, but it's creating a healthy conversation, which has been long overdue, and that is the fairness within a free and fair market. So nobody should have an issue if you invest money in a company you believe in, and it legitimately goes down for having bad fundamentals. I mean, that's on you if you didn't do your research. Now, what's frustrating is if you legitimately put money in a company and because of manipulation, your money gets stolen. Period. That's frustrating. And that's what this is about. This is a digital Occupy Wall Street at this point. I don't know if all of you remember that, but a decade ago. But we're not standing in the streets with signs at this point. We are coming together and rallying positively, and that's why I wanted to get on here today, because it's hard for an entire community to stay that way when you see your P&L just go down. You're like, oh man, what am I doing? I'm losing it all. But if your whys are right, and hopefully you didn't overextend yourself, it's an important one. And my conviction in this stock has never been higher. I've never felt stronger about holding it. I have no intention of letting this baby go anytime soon. So let's see if we got anything, any updates. Wow, that wasn't about any updates. That was just me learning how to use a computer for the first time, apparently. Let's see. See, more fun. Forbes AMC insiders sold 9.5 million in stock, securing 200% return. Cool. All right, so 9.5 million divided by 50, it's 100,000 shares, what have you. Okay, these are the same insiders who sacrificed. And I say that loosely because like corporations are corporations, right? But the company and the shareholders in the last agreement voted that the executive compensation plan would allow for 20 million shares to go to these executives, so you attract good top tier talent. Right, that's what companies want to do. You want the best executives in place to make yourself more successful. So they offer these stock incentives, where like, hey, it gives you an incentive to make the company better. Plus, we're attracting good talent, right? But what they did is they all together said, take those 20 million shares that are ours, what we can make money on. Additional money, especially at this, like a $40, $50 a share, right? And they're like, sell it off for the company. Tell me a company out there that's going to do that. And what's even more baffling is with some of their shares that they do have, if they decide to go out at that moment, and I'm certain that is not a full position of any of them. But like, why wouldn't you, make a little bit of money? These guys are working hard, but to propagate it like that, like, they make it sound like they're bailing on the idea of this is a pertinent fight, and they might not. They can't come out and say, hey, we believe hedge funds are doing this, and this, but they can say through their actions and their interviews, which they have done, particularly Adam Aron, the CEO, that we do support the idea because they've been doing this to companies for far too long. So yeah, for sure. But the way that's spun, it's kind of frustrating, but that's what you see. Especially on days like today. Like days like today where whether you're a newer investor in it or maybe you're suffering from the exhaustion of the volatility, your volatility exhaustion, you'll see that stuff amped up and ramped out. Because it's just that, like, the psychological move is like, oh, you're losing money, but guess what? These guys are making it. They're taking, your hard work and profit. That's not the case, and it's just silly how stuff is spun that way. The media is ruthless, but these organizations are owned. I mean, you look behind all of them. Like, look who owns half of these media outlets. It's insane. So just put a little bit of perspective on that, Let's see, anything else we got out here? Let's see. So Trey's just tweeted out, there's not a chance apes are selling the day after finding out these two things. Shares returned, shorts covering is being skewed, and Ortex uncovered it, and apes own the float. So that was sent out yesterday in a tweet by Adam Aron that had stated that there are over 4 million investors in the AMC now, and that retail investors are 80% of the entire shareholder in the company. So it's a very, very valid point, especially like if you've been around, you don't need the explanation. But if you haven't, welcome aboard. We love to have you in the ape community. Glad you're here. And, you know I'm not going anywhere, so still hovering around 4250 area. Let me see what we got here. Actually, 4350, excuse me. Got a little lag on what I was looking at. But the, if you look on the daily here, you got a little bit of a cup and handle going on. You look at this, starting at, the drop at just before noon to hit that bottom down there, came back up, a little pullback retraction, and now you have the handle. So you have the you have the cut going on here and a little handle, and that is usually a bull indicator. Not always, but what would be nice to see at this point is with that, if that could be bolstered, if this sucker shoots up to get that sucker above the VWAP, which is at 45.71 right now. So this could be a momentum shifter. And you're seeing it start to push in that direction. We just cracked 44, which is huge news. So if you can hold at this level above the 44 mark consistently for about 5 to 10 minutes, that means you establish that new zone there. So that's pretty good. That would be pretty good news. Like I said, if the cup and handle itself comes to fruition, that would be a very good indicator of that. All right. Yeah, but it's holding pretty steady over that 44 mark. You're going to see some challenge here because each level, like this is step-by-step movement at this point. Remember, this thing was down as low as $40.20, and it's made a $4 price move back up. I just would really like to see this breakout after the handle form there. But it definitely seems like it's moving back in a more bullish direction. Let's pull back to the 30-minute here. Yeah, it's pretty incredible when you see you see that dip down there. But, obviously right now we're fighting for a VWAP. It'd be nice to get it above that 45.69 and kind of sustain it there for a while, at least a little bit. But let's see. Let me check a couple things. Yeah, so far we're still down $5 on a day, but $5 on a stock like this with this volatility, within the past couple days, you'll see $10, $12 price swings, like no problem. So RSI is a little high right now, but I feel that perhaps if we can do a little bit of consolidation. No, it's really fighting to move above now. So it's really interesting stuff. So if any of you were lucky enough to get the discount, good on you. Good way to average down. So, let's see. All right, so what we're seeing now is the end of the lunch hour is happening. So I think we are probably going to see a lot more price action. Ooh, now we're moving. Pushing that 44.30. What we're doing now is, let's see. if we can hold this for a couple more minutes, I think we establish the new 44 mark as our higher bottom right now, or higher low. So trend reversal definitely. Hitting that bottom at 40.20. Really excited to see what happens from here. So what happened yesterday is this was placed on the SSR list because it dropped more than 10% from the previous close, and you saw that today again. And with the move from it's ripping now. Now we're talking. A little bit of resistance at 44.50. Pull back. Probably a sell wall there, whether it's institutions or day traders. People just trying to pull a little bit of profit off quick flips and day trades. But, yeah, it's definitely moving in the right direction. It's exciting to see. Okay, so at this point, we would like to test this next level here, which is 44.76. That'd be the next move. If we can crack above that, hold it, and start moving to that 45 mark. 44.76 will look like our level of resistance there. Oop, pulling back a little bit, but that's okay. Right about there, and if we can hold above that, 45 will be the obvious next level. And anytime it's a solid number like that with your zeros, whether it's 45, 50, there is a psychological value at a number like that. So we'll see if we can pull up to that. Have a little bit of a breath release within the community. Still trying to push this sucker back down. Currently, the volume on the day is at 155 million. It's pretty wild to see that it opened. It opened about normal with your about 20-30 million. I say normal, but normal of it's as of recent. However, this is already well over the volume that we've seen in the past day or two. It is trending in that direction. So there is a lot of interest in this, especially with the price being moved down this amount. I think you're going to see a lot more people step in. There's quite a few people who are just waiting for an opportunity like this. Now, if we can keep that the ask higher than the bid, and like tick it upwards, that's the goal here. So what's nice is we found the 44 level, and whereas it dipped down below it, we still haven't held it for 5 minutes. So this is going to be a battle area. You want to see at least 5 minutes of sustaining that before you can plant your flag of victory. So it'd be nice to see some heavy buyers coming at this point. But this is, like I was saying when I first jumped on today, and it was at one of the darkest moments of the day, and it's the reason I jumped on. It's the reason I wanted to do a live stream. And like I said, I haven't been on here in about a month. And it's because I wanted to step back from stock talk because it's just so oversaturated right now, which is understandable. People are craving the information on this because there's a lot going on. But the moment I heard the crippling discussions and just the deflation within some of the community, it's like, look, guys, remember why we're in it, and it's easy to be positive on a green day. It takes a special type of testicular fortitude and gumption to remember that and really to vocalize it on days that are a lot more challenging. When you're down 20%, when you're looking at your P&L and you're like, what happened? I was up so much. But what makes blue skies and green days better is having to sit through a storm sometimes. I'm up here in the Midwest. I'm from Cleveland, and we living right on the lake, and there's like 7 months of just gray skies and nasty weather and snow. And man, when that sun comes out, it just, you appreciate it all the more. And that's the stuff we got to remember. This $44 mark is a war zone. 156 million in volume. Yeah, low of the day, 39.71. We've reached as high as 51.45, like towards the beginning. So think about that. You're talking about $11.50, almost a $12 swing there. Absolute insanity. $12 swing on a stock that is right around $50 is incredible within a day. And the fact that this sucker has been doing it consistently just shows you the volatility. So if you're new to this, if this doesn't reaffirm like the couple days that you've dealt with before, just keep remembering this is what this is going to do until it pops. And it will pop, in my belief. That's my opinion. I can't guarantee anything, but that is my opinion. Any new news? Oh man, do we have one? What do we have going on here? Yeah, it looks like a bear trap, doesn't it? Ooh! Alright, we're pushing, guys. Let's see if we can get back up. Well, I'd like to see us above 45. This is post lunchtime. Maybe get some buyers. The bellies are full. They're like, let's go buy some AMC. Go get us some popcorn and chicken tendies. That'd be awesome. It would be awesome. Wow, sometimes I just look at this chart and it's just baffling to me. And it's a lot more fun than watching just something barcode all day. It's just up and down, up and down, up and down, like just right there in the little bitty zone. This is I was talking to my buddy the other day. He's like, man, this is just like watching horse racing. I'm like, yeah, it is. And we're coming around the bend right now, guys. So right now we are sitting at 44, right around 44.30. So still down 10% on the day. Again, when we started, popped up to up 3%, and then just right before that right at that noon hour, that lunch hour, they're like, let's get it dumped. So saw that, and don't know if that was a case of trying to force some paper hands or some scared people out of their positions to free up the at least some shares of the many that they owe and have to bring back. Now, if you are in this position, I hope you know that what has caused this phenomena. Wow, we are ripping again. 44.60. All right, so what we are looking for here, obviously, we want to see it crack 44.76, which was the last. It's going to be the last real level of resistance before 45, which is that psychological barrier. So 44.76. Love to see it pop over here. Got a lot of green movement on it. You might see little pullbacks, but it is pushing. Here we go, baby. 158 million in volume, like nothing. Man, you think back in January when the sucker was doing it did 1.2 billion in one day. Oh, we cracked it. 44.76. Can we hold it? It is pushing. We are a little bit a pullback. This is good. Uh-oh. They didn't like that one. They didn't like that one bit. Yeah, cracked that 44.76 just briefly. So that is yet again, like I said, right around there. 44.76 is our level of resistance. This is going to be fun. So if we can get over that and make that charge to 45, the obvious move after that is going to be the VWAP. If we can cross over that, which is currently at 45.63, so that would be the case. So let's see if we can get back up to retest that next level. 44.76. It's amazing how you can get amped up and pumped when you're down 10% on the day for like a little moves like that. That's what I'm talking about, Yeah, granted, if you look at your P&L on a daily basis, it can be deflating, and you know what's going on. But you know what? You also see the resurgence, and you see the power of the community, and you see apes stepping in. They see the same charts as I'm seeing. All right. Let's see. Curious. I haven't really watched any of it today, but I know the SEC was doing a hearing on dark pools and a lot of stuff today. So I'll probably end up going back and watching that later after the market closes. See if they actually made any positive adjustments, or not adjustments, but brought any positive attention, any potential solutions. But we all know how quickly the government works, so who knows? And we go. All right. Oh, we're back at 44.76. Here we go again. Retesting. This is a key level here. Key level. That's why you keep seeing it hover around this area. Past it. That's good news. Now, if we can get up to 45, is going to be the next move. I'm liking the way the chart's looking too. I mean, obviously, after this big dump, this was a huge, major attempt to just get people out, tank them, get them scared. But look, ever since then, this progressive, steady, bullish move upward, and we are pushing 45. We're doing it. They're doing it. Oh, cracked right through that. Right through it. Absolutely beautiful. Now, see, the key is whether it's with pullbacks and sell walls, if it could be sustained. So it's going to be a battleground here. We just had this not too long ago. What was it? I mean, it wasn't long ago at all. So not even 10 minutes ago, we were doing this at 44. And now we're doing it at 45. It's just another battle wall. This is really good stuff. Really, really good stuff. Man, 45, and we're ripping. The chart looks solid right now, guys. Look at this upward trend. So what we're doing now, coming off this basement bottom discount price area that we had, is we are now testing. We are testing the VWAP. We're moving in on it. 45.62. Can we get over it and make a charge towards this end of this day, these next few hours, and seriously make a move back into the green? That is what we're looking for. Wow. Good stuff. 45. RSI is right around 70, so I'd like to see just a little bit of consolidation at this level, or truthfully, I'd always like to see a rip, but it is what it is. Wow. Let me see. Let me check my level 2s here. All right. Got a little bit of sell wall at 45.30, but that's getting... Oh, they keep adding to it too. Yeah, 45.30. They keep throwing up stuff at, but just eating through it. Beautiful to see. This is what we're talking about right here. So that $45 mark, again, big psychological move back into the direction that we were heading. Good stuff. So any and all apes, if you are out there you know, if that 39.71 today, just head droop down, we're back in it, baby. We're making moves. Want to see that 45.61 is going to be, move something there, didn't I? Well, I don't like that at all. Oh, man. Well, I don't know what I did, guys. Well, then. We're in a war zone, and I'm over here messing the chart up. Okay. Let's see. And I think I just broke it, and I did. We are moving back in the wrong direction. Probably because I messed my chart up. See that? You go messing charts up. This is where. Well, obviously my computer is not built for doing more than two things at once. Anyway, you guys get the gist of it. I'll try to correct that up real quick. Don't know. All right. Well, I don't know what that was all about, but there's us on the 5-minute chart. All right, so going back towards the $45 level, you know, they know as well as we know how important a number like that is psychologically. So probably going to see a little bit of action around here. Maybe a little bit of consolidation. Yeah, I do not know why I haven't been doing this. I did say that, like, you know, I don't want to garner viewership or subs or anything based off of the hype of this, but man, is this fun to track and watch. I'll tell you what, like, I could do this all day. I really could. I could see how people could do this all day, you know? All right, a little bit of pullback here. So, you know, we had a pretty decent run up there over the course of, 10 minutes. You know, we jumped $2. So, not abnormal to see a little bit of a pullback at this point. Let's see if we can't bounce off of right around the 44 or 46 level right here. Dipped a little bit below, but that's such a cool number to see on a chart. I mean, I'd rather see $500,000 a share, but man, how cool is it to see just all fours across the board? Maybe the next move will be all fives, huh? Back above 44.50. See if we can't get a little revamp going here in a sec. Okay. So obvious. Back after this, we're gonna want to revamp ourselves, make another move, let the RSI cool down a little bit. It was running pretty high. Let it cool down a little bit. See if we can't take another stab at this. So we're going to be looking at trying to crack above 45.20 the next run, and then take a good push towards that VWAP. Man, the amount of 165 million in volume today, making moves just after that lunch hour, just pushed an insane amount. This is really, really good stuff, guys. Never. So at these prices, like, if you sold one share, you might be able to buy one piece of wood with the amount that stuff skyrocketed. Probably should have invested in that at one point. Okay. All right. I feel like we might be charging up here to make a move. It was nice to see that little cup and handle thing work out and make that reversal towards the uptrend. Try to go into these latter hours with a bullish momentum. All right. I will be I'll keep the chart on here. I'll be right back. I'm gonna have to use the restroom, and we'll see if this garners any good, positive or a negative outcome. Because depending on which way it goes, I might find myself using the restroom every 10 minutes just to drive charts. You know. I'll be right back. All right. Where we at? Anything good happen? Well, hovering right at 44.50-ish. So, looks like we're consolidating a little bit, which is a good thing. Not always a bad thing. Every time you establish a new level, you want to see this consolidation. It shows strength within the area. Otherwise, you can sacrifice that area, and you don't want to do that. You want to push back through. So, good normal price action here. See if we can't wind up a little bit and start making a move again. It's 122 in the market. AMC down 10% on the day, but I feel like the bad storm there that we had happen at least is a couple hours in the past. Let's see. Man, would I like to see this if you pull back and you got this, the major jump up, kind of a major bull flag here. I'd like to see that charge up and just use that to shoot through the roof. But only time will tell on that one. This is a game of patience. P-A-Y-chance. Got my dogs moving upstairs. They're getting excited about AMC too, I guess. Either that or they're taking tap dancing lessons. I mean, what did we do in the market before stuff like this? Sit around watching like a slow growth index stock or something. All right. Let's see if we can't make a move. We took a, what happened is like we were heading towards the moon, but we had a detour stop, had to pick up some more fuel so the spaceship could go higher and higher and higher. All right. I probably should have got in a little bit on that dip buy opportunity. Let me see if I got any dry powder at the ready right now. Let's see. Oh, looks like maybe a little bit. Let's see where this goes from here. Alright, looks like we're... oop. No, I don't want to look up bonds. Looks like we're going to be retesting this $44 level. So we have 2 hit points here, just right around $44. So I guess right now the idea is if we can stay above that during this this consolidation period to charge up, that would be ideal. That's what we're looking for. So because we have our touch points are right around 43.89 there. So let's see if we can stay above that and move forward. All right. Anything out there? Sometimes it's hard to forget that there is an entire other market out there with what's been going on with AMC and GME. But every so often, got to do a status check to see where we're at. Because it's not only one single place. Coincidentally, MVIS is still holding up above $22, so that was it's been on an interesting little run too, given that about a month ago it was at about $10. It's funny though, because like a lot of that stuff has been running on no news. I mean, they did have their LiDAR test results come out, but that was in April, so I don't necessarily know if they've had anything recently to justify their run-up, other than the fact that it's also a heavily shorted stock. Yeah, I just think it's running with the rest of them. So we're still in a little bit of a consolidation period here. That's not a bad thing. Say it with me. Consolidation. It appears to me that all those post-lunch buyers are now find themselves in a big fat food coma. Yeah, that'd be right where I'd be at right now. But like I said, with all that was going on today, just hearing all the bad out there, it's like we gotta get on here and talk a little good, big picture, pull back picture, look at the earth from a different view. It's easy to get tunnel vision on a long run like this. You know, you get so pulled in and focused on the day to day that it's really easy. But it's nice to see it make a little bit of a recovery here. So. Alright, I think it's going to go back down and try that. Right. See if we can get a bounce off this right around here. This is where we want to see. Oh, right around this price. Oh, no, it is taking a little bit dip in the other direction, which is not a big deal. If we can bounce off this 43.89, 43.90 area, it'd be nice to see it rip back upwards. Or maybe they're like let's throw some more anvils at this thing, dump some more shouties into the stock. Tell you what, when this thing does go, it may be one of the most parabolic things you've ever seen. It has just been a roller coaster ride. I remember sitting around and I was having a conversation with somebody in March about AMC, person I work with, and I remember him coming up to me a couple days ago, and he's like, "Man, you were telling me about AMC. It was like at $9." He's like, "It's at like $50." I was like, "Yeah, man, it's been a long fight, and it's not over." That's the thing to remember. It is not over. Like I said, I feel like we're gonna see so much pushback and so much ammunition on their side being thrown today and tomorrow at this, like trying to keep it in this area. Mainly, God, you look at the option market on this thing is insanity. There's so many open positions right around $42, like $40, $42, and the amount that were in the money as of like yesterday, the day before, this whole week was crazy amount of money. Obviously, the makers have to have covered positions for those in the money calls, just in case they are exercised. So when you approach a date the 11th tomorrow, where you have that many open options and that are in the money. It is just, I don't think they could have obtained that many shares to cover it if they didn't have them at that time. I mean, this is probably the most blatant view and example of, doubling down to save money and the eventual save some money now, but going to get killed later. I mean, you're throwing money. You're putting a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound right now. That is what we're seeing. That is what today is. That's what more than likely tomorrow will be, unless you see some serious ape buying, maybe even whale buying, which would be really neat to see. Yeah, still fighting around this $44 mark. It's definitely having a difficult time around the $44 mark. It's funny because when it was approaching that VWAP, man, you just saw all sorts of pressure come in. They're like, no, we cannot. Because you look back, the last time it was above it was at 10:30 this morning, right? It's just been this onslaught drop down. But the moment it started approaching it here, right around 20 minutes ago, it's like, no. What else do we got? How many shorts you got laying around? Just throw them in, Hank. Throw them in. I just assume the guy's name's Hank. It sounds like a short, old small Hank. Man, how crazy would it be to see this sucker just do the biggest cup shape for the day? You start up here, they drag you down, they beat you down, and you're just like, no, we're fighting back. That's what's happening. Like I said, it's going to be a challenging couple days. So I applaud anyone who is watching this with solid head, keeping that solid head on their shoulders, and don't keep your eye locked on the price. Look around you. Look at some of the news catalysts that's going on. Look at some of the things that are affecting where we're at. Like I said, with the options market and all the publicity that's been around this. That's what's, I guess, what's even more baffling is the idea that this issue is being put on the forefront, and just the fact that it's just like, we're just going to keep going at it. We're just going to keep doing it. Whatever. I guess ask for forgiveness, not for permission, is the saying. All right. See anything of interest going on in this Wall Street world of ours? Tell you what, ever since GameStop posted their earnings and stuff yesterday, Roaring Kitty has been on a tweet fest, man. Every 10 seconds you look up, he's like, well, it's time for me to rally the troops. Yeah. I mean, because it is down like crazy. I didn't even see that. Let me pull that up real quick, too. Let's just try to do a split screen here without crashing the old gateway. Yeah, that's right. My computer's old. No biggie. Let's see. Wow. Yeah. Those charts look similar. Holy moly. we could just take the names and the prices off there and look at this. It's absolute bonkers. Like how lock and step these are. If that isn't a good enough argument for the type of manipulation, and it's insane. Look at that. Wow. Well, anybody who's been a GME pre-squeeze to this point, they know the deal. You know, they know the deal. We're just some 6-month-old apes trying to get by, trying to get our bananas. On a bit of a downward movement right now. Be nice to, well, where are we at here? Wonder if it's gonna go retest this bottom here. Down to the 42s again. Let's hope not. 172 million in volume. Currently 140 in the market. And the weather outside is about 90 degrees. Oh, that was the thing. Like, I had to step outside too, and man, it is nice and warm. It'd be a good pool day. I was staring at that pool out there. I was like, oh man, but I'm a little bit locked in on this right now. Maybe that'll be a post 4 o'clock thing. Yeah. All right. I guess what we're looking at this point is a trend reversal of sorts. Because the next level... Oop. Holy moly. Wrong button. The next support level is right around 42.40. So... don't know if it's going to make its way down there to retest, but... would like to see a move back in the positive direction. Man, I'd like to see a big green rip day like that one where we ran up in the 70s. Now that, you couldn't even keep up with the numbers at that point. I couldn't imagine being like calling that like on a live stream. You would sound like a horse race or an auctioneer guy. We're 43, 46. I mean, I was just climbing so fast. And I mean, over the course of those couple of days, you had a few stalls, but like most of those stalls, the suspensions they put in, the volatility suspensions, were when they tried to short the movement down, and they did it too fast because they couldn't stop it. So they would, you'd throw like 10 million shares in it or something, and it would jump so much down that they would suspend it, but as soon as it opened back up, it would shoot back up through the roof. Yeah, that was that's always fun stuff to watch. No. Let's see if this is an actual reversal or if we have a little false break. Oh, I still have GME pulled up on my phone. I'm like, ooh, it's brutal. I'm like, oh wait, it's about what all of us have been dealing with today. Man. You got any big, one of our big movers today? TRX8 Meds? I want to say that was MEDS ticker symbol. I want to say they had ProPhase Labs leads healthcare gainers. I don't know, man. You see on such a daily basis, you see all these pump and dumps, like these real quick movers. A lot of pharmaceutical and medical stocks. mainly because like typically they have such low price points that they can, you know, pump them up, dump them real quick. It's always funny, like when you go and you'll look at like there was one today. It may have been that one where no, it was Medley Management. It was up. This sucker was up earlier in the day. That's ticker symbol MDLY. It was up to 1262 from like the low, like the right around $5. And like I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, I wonder who the chief investors in that is. And like you pull it up and it's like your Citadels, it's like, why is it? It's always the same actors. Maybe that, you know, it's like, why ask why? You know why, you know. And then you look at them and you're like, is there any news? Nope, no news. Pump and dump. It's and it's not an option stock, so it literally is just like ride it up, sell it down. Whereas like you'll see tons of call options purchased on like a stock similar to that offers the options. They'll have call input options, and then they'll ride it up, sell the calls, then sell all the stock, and then collect on the puts, man. Dirty game. Wish I had that sort of power or capital to make stuff like that happen. Hovering around that $44 mark. So it's not sure if we're going to have a breakout from here or not. Definitely like to see it trend upwards. Never heard anyone say, unless you're playing a put, definitely like to see this bad boy go down. Let's see. Alright, so if we do make a move, I really am going to keep my eye when we start trending in the right direction. So if we can make a push, I'd like to see us go back towards that 45.20. That was the last place we capped out at, and that'll be our next test or our retest when we get back up there. But it seems like there's a fight at 44, so could be a few minutes. All right. Probably should have grabbed something to drink before I started doing all this. Yeah, another thing that's kind of kept me from the channel is like, you know, it's called In the Street Trades, blue collar view of white collar world, and the whole idea is like, you know, I am a blue collar worker. I work every day, and sometimes it's hard. You know, you work all day and then you get home, and the last thing you want to do is deep dive on a stock, and you know. I think that's why, like, sometimes these live streams aren't as bad, because like I don't have to sit there and do hours and hours of research like I'm doing a paper. Instead, I can just, you know, read charts, which you know, in a really volatile stock is actually pretty exciting. So you know, you probably find me doing this a little bit more. And typically on Mondays, like opening of the week, I could probably do a full-blown bell to bell, but my father just had surgery recently, so been helping him out, so not necessarily promising that right now, but I'll try to get on here as much as I can. Keep the steady hand of the ape community in line. Fight for 44. Fight for 44. Going once. Going twice. Almost thought my computer froze. I'm like, I guess we're done at 44. So really not liking breaking through that point right now. It's kind of charging up, so we'll I'm definitely gonna set up my Webull flow page here a little bit different, like for the next one. It doesn't have all the information I want on it. That's why I keep looking over here on my phone, because it's not giving me the views I want, and I don't want to mess with it right this second. I don't even have RSI on here, which is crazy. But that is currently at about 52, so right in the middle of the pack. Just kind of seeing what it wants to do, you know. All right. So everyone always asks, that one sentiment out there is like, you know your why you're doing this, like why you're in it, you know, what you're working for, what you're trying to get your attendees for, and like ours is plain and simple, you know, we want to get rid of the debt, and we're paying for a wedding. So like there's a celebration at the end of the tunnel when it comes to what our why is. So it's interesting to see. We should start like just flipping coins to see what the next move would be, up or down. All right. Nothing on the. Let's see if there's any updates here on Vortex. Nothing incredibly. Nah, nothing really new. Yeah, like it really kind of tests you after having like 4 straight days of red. I mean, I've held stocks where, you know, you've gone weeks and it's just, God, we just want one green day. But there's so much put into this right now, and there's so much on the line that you got to find the positives in all of it. And I'm okay with that. I am okay. Most people are like, why are you okay with being down today? I'm like, well, we might be down today, but we're not down altogether. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, in the last week, so today it's down 11%, right? But in the last 5 days, it's been down about 14% collectively. But in the last month, we're up 360%. So, you know, pull back a little bit, give it a little bit of perspective. And like I said, there is a lot of reason what's going on right now is going on right now. So if you can weather that storm, no biggie, Tupac. No biggie. I'll tell you what I'm not used to doing is sitting for a long period of time. I think I'm more of a stander. Like I stand a lot, I walk a lot, and I don't find myself sitting in a chair talking very often. In fact, I'm not much of a talker normally, so. Hey, we just broke 44, y'all. I feel the need for green. Come on, baby. Does the chart want to wake up? Feels like it wants to wake up. Broke that $44 mark again. So, retesting. Realistically, like our true level is going to be 45 and then 45.20. You know, we can bounce around here all we want, but that's going to be the indicator. Like if we could really break through 45, 45.20, 45.50. That's what we're looking at. Those are the tree numbers to keep in the back of your mind. That's my nod at the Sopranos right there. You get a guy out on the corner with one of these stocks, one of these AMC stocks, and you sell them for a couple $3 a pop. Who's not gonna say screw it? Give me one. Get them out there at that low for the day. You dangle a $39 AMC stock in front of someone, they're gonna eat it up, and they did, man. That didn't last long at all. Hanging out above 44, $176 million or 176 not dollars, 176 million shares of volume today. We are approaching 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. It gives us about an hour out from Power Hour, which will has treated this stock quite well lately. We had quite the climb back. Let's not forget that. What a roller coaster, though, huh? What a roller coaster. $12 spread today. It has been all over the place. It's down as much as 22%, clawing its way back up, down about 10%, looking for that 45, that 45.20, that 45.50, and then the moon, folks. Again, no guarantees, not financial advice. Just a man in a dream. That's all it is. You know what I would love to see? I would love to see, like, when this particular story is over, the AMC story, I would like to see, like, someone, like, of prominence from a hedge fund tell the full side of the story of what their thoughts were, what they were going through, like, you know, the other side of the coin. That would be super interesting. And then we can kick them in the junk. That was a little unnecessary, but screw them. We're stealing money from people. There's two things in this world I don't like. It's liars and thieves, and I think we got a double banger on our hands when it comes to what we're dealing with here. It's just amazing how systemic it is. How, like, across the board. I mean, you don't have 10, 12 like stocks follow the exact same, or 10, 12 different index stocks, completely different businesses, like different indexes. You know, one will be a manufacturing one will be a entertainment one will be, you know, a cannabis one, whatever. Follow the exact same charts with the exact same dumps and the exact same move. It's insanity. And, like, you know, how long has it got to go on before change gets made? That's what we are in right now. That is what we were fighting for right now. That is what this is about right now. It's, you know, it's hard to consistently maintain a public of trust when the information and the community is exposing so much distrust. And I think this will prove to be a key moment. a key moment. It could be the make or break of the change of what the markets need, truthfully. And does it happen overnight? No. I mean, we're 6 months into this. It's certainly not overnight. But there's messages that are getting out there, and that's what's important. And it's really, really cool to see. Man, that $44 mark is become its own little magnet. For days and days and days, it was 50. Now we're seeing like the fight for 44. And my my theory on this is, again, like I was speaking in the options market, and the 40 and the $42 open calls that are in the money. I guess my idea is like, if you can't keep it right around there. They could do their damage in the post-market and pre-market and try to run it enough to shake out some paper hands and keep it at a level where it keeps them out of the money, at least for these couple days. But I'm telling you, there's resources being exhausted to do this. Exhausted because the volume alone, the fact that retail investors, they have 80% of the float of this company. 80%. There's 501 million shares in this company, or right around 501 million shares in this company. And 80% of them are apes, retail investors. So the amount of money, resources, and everything it takes to do what is being done right now, it's got to be costing a fortune. It's got to be costing a fortune. And again, save in one area to make in another, but the bullet wound is bleeding out. And this is just more patchwork stuff. That's all this is. Just patchwork. They're playing. This is day by day. They're playing day, or I don't even know if they're looking as far out as the day. Like, I think it's looked at as like, all right, they look at the end of the week, they're like, all right, see that bill that we have to pay if we don't figure this out? Well, that's going to cost us, $700 million. Well, let's throw, $35 million at this, try to drive this down, pay out the $100 million here, so $135 million now to save $700 million there, but it's going to cost us $1 billion later. I mean, there is estimated losses of over $4 billion on what's been going on here from these hedge funds. $4 billion. So if you look at your profit and loss and you're like, oh, I'm losing this, I'm like, what would you do to save that, save that sort of money if you were backed into a corner? I'd be, if someone had me backed in the corner, I'd be swinging everything I got, and that's what you're seeing. But eventually, you're gonna run out of steam. You're gonna run out of options. No pun. And I'm not speaking of call option, because that sort of game has been played to a relentless amount. So it's just after 2 o'clock. We're at 43.60-ish, and volume's at about 178 million. Depending on how Power Hour goes, this may be a 300 million volume day, which we've seen quite a few. These past couple days before this, it's certainly dropped off, but a lot of that has to do with volume exhaustion. Like, that is a real thing. Like, the amount of transactions and fluctuations, and some people just need to back off. Now, a lot of this stuff's being done algorithmically. Like, you can look at these short ladder attacks. I mean, this major dump, climb back up, A little bit of a weird consolidation here. Another dump. And then we had a slow climb. Try for a trend reversal. Was rejected. Move up. Was approaching the VWAP. Can't have that, because if we approach the VWAP, that means our objective to keep this in the range where we need it for the next couple days at least isn't going to work. So let's short ladder down. I mean, the chart speaks for itself. It's written there. It's pretty cut and dry. Nobody likes red days. I wonder if the band Green Day is named after stocks. I have no idea. Yeah. That was just a dumb thought to have. It's like, I only want Green Days. That's probably like the most off base thing ever. Let's see. Nah, it's for their fondness for cannabis. Well, there you go. I think after this is all said and done, I'm going to refocus some of my attention back in the cannabis sector. There's quite a few plays over there I really like. More long-term stuff. But it's been hard to step away from this. There's just too much action going on. There's too much wrapped up into this. And I look at these past 6 months, and now I'm like, holy moly, we are in June. We have been in these trenches for 6 months. I mean, I remember that there were days where we were down at like $5. $5. Any of you are in it now. If you got in late, you're $50 or $58 or $60 or whatever. There was days where we were sitting with $9 shares or $8 shares, and we were looking at $5. We're like, oh my god, they're killing us out here. But that's all part of it. It's a grind, man. It's a grind. But God, these short, like, you could see it just clear as day on that chart. They are going to keep this as close to 42 as possible. We need a momentum shift, a swing around, to really, really make this move. Because otherwise, there is going to be success in that, and nobody wants a hedgie to win. Your hedges get too big in the backyard. What do? You cut them down. Let's cut these bad boys down. Someone should make a like an online game, like one of those quick cell phone type games where you got it's almost like whack-a-mole but with hedges. Instead of instead of a little mallet, you got like hedge clippers, and you're just like I'm not saying like cut their heads off. I'm saying like you could just like cut their pockets off the sides. That'd be dope. I'd play it, yeah. Nobody likes sideways trading. We want upwards trends. At a high of 51.45, a low of 39.71, and we are hovering around $43. Now, if let's say this trend continues and it finishes how I anticipate it being, they're going to try to keep it between 42 and 44 as much as possible going into tomorrow. Now, my assumption and my theory is completely blown out of the window if it shoots up in the morning and holds. But I don't know. It's too hard to tell right now. It really is. I mean, this thing is for short plays. Like technical analysis will get you so far, but this thing is beyond the fundamentals of technical analysis. You can see a few things that, like, if there's day traders out there and stuff, they're gonna look at the indicators and jump on it, obviously. But then there's just complete bonkered manipulation that just throws everything off. The push down. See these? Ladder. A ladder. Trying to keep it down at that target I was talking about. Very, very disheartening. But, I don't know. I feel good enough in the community that I feel like there is going to be a turnaround. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but there is going to be a bounce back. Now, if any of you have ever looked at short squeezes, the two biggest ones you can look back at, you can pull up like an image of it online, Google it. You had Volkswagen's VW back in 2008, and then you had GameStop in January. If you look at that chart, you always see in both of them the same thing, which is right before the big pop, there was always a comeback, a retracement where it goes to almost like half of what it was, and then the explosion happened. And they do this to try to get that sucker down as low as they can, because they know they have to buy back in. They know it. There's too much to cover. They have to. And you see all the attacks and stuff that happen to get them there, and then right when one major one decides, like, all right, this is, I think, the best we're gonna get it to, let's try to cover, it just takes that one for it, like the snowball to roll. Look at this. I mean, look at this. Insane. So, well, we have about 2 hours left. I, however, do have to run some errands and do some chores, because this house does not take care of itself. We have a team here that we all got to pull our weight. I appreciate you watching, stopping by. I will be doing this again, hopefully, probably even tomorrow. But like I said, keep your eye on what I was just talking about through today, what was happening, the types of moves that I anticipate that they are making and why they're making them. And, keep your eye on the prize. Don't forget that, this the big picture on this one. So, thanks again for everything, and I appreciate it.